Hi everybody, hope you're doing well. Welcome back. In this session, we're gonna continue talking about matching questions, and our today's topic is matching the sentences with correct ending. Now, let's start our today's session. Okay, this is our third example of matching hidden questions. Now, let me turn on my pen and start our today's session. Okay, the first thing, as usual, you should do is to just look at the title. Okay, our top title is about Great Migration. Our passage is about migrations. Now, let's go back to the questions. Questions 19 to 20. Complete each sentence with the correct ending, A to G below. Write the correct letter A to G in boxes 19 to 22 on your answer sheet. And we've read the instructions, and it's time to read the questions and choose our keywords. Okay. According to Dingle, migratory routes are likely to. Dingle is a name and easy to scan and find in the passage. Now let's go to question 20. To prepare for migration, animals are likely to. Okay, these two questions are enough for us to find in the text, but don't read your options in the box. If you read them, you're gonna be confused, and it's gonna make it a little bit challenging for you. Just read your questions and find the relevant part of the text, and then you should select the most suitable option for your question. Okay, now let's go to the passage and scan the name of a scientist. Okay. Okay, I found it here. The biologist Dingle has identified 5 characteristics that apply in varying degrees and combinations to all migrations. They are prolonged movements that carry animals outside familiar habitats. Okay, they tend to be linear, not zigzaggy. Okay, they tend to be linear and not zigzaggy. It's something about migratory routes. Now, let's go back to our questions. According to Dingle, migratory routes are likely to be. Now, let's read our options. Be discouraged by difficulties? No, it has nothing to do with difficulties. Travel on open land where they can look out for predators? It has again nothing to do with predators or traveling on an open land. Eat more than they need for immediate purposes. Again, this is nothing about eating. Be repeated daily. It's not about repetition. Ignore directions. It's not about ignoring directions. Be guarded by the availability of water and follow a straight line. This is our answer. Okay, I'm gonna write it here. This is our answer for question 19. Now let's go for question 20. To prepare for migration, animals are likely to. Okay, we're gonna look at something related to preparation. Okay, let's continue. They involve spatial behaviors concerning preparation, okay, such as overfeeding and arrival. As far as I remember, we had something about eating in our options. Now let's go back to our options. Okay, eat more. Eat more than they need for immediate purposes. Eat more than they need could be paraphrased with overfeeding. Okay, and as a result, this is our answer for question 20. Okay, now let's go on to our last set of questions. Question 21 and question 22. During migration, animals are unlikely to. Okay, this is our keyword. And Arctic terms illustrate migrating animals' ability to. Okay, and in this question, we should look for something related to ability. Okay, now let's go to passage and look for during migration and unlikely. Okay, now let's continue. They demand spatial allocations of energy. And one more, migrating animals maintain an intense attentiveness to the greater mission. Okay, an intense attentiveness to greater mission, which keeps them undistracted. undistracted by temptations and undeterred by challenges that would turn other animals aside. Okay, that's uh, that's the sentence we're gonna find our answer from. Okay, now let's go back to our options. These two parts are very important: undistracted by temptations and undeterred by challenges that would turn other animals aside. Okay, and our first option, be discouraged by difficulties. Okay, this is our answer. A. Discouraged by difficulties could be paraphrased by undistracted by temptations and undeterred by challenges. Okay, and as a result, this is our answer. An Arctic tern, on its 20,000-kilometer flight from the extreme south of South America to the Arctic Circle, will take no notice of a nice, smelly heron offered from a birdwatcher's boat along the way. Okay. While local gulls will dive voraciously for such a handout, the tern flies on. Why? The Arctic tern resists distraction. Arctic tern resists distraction. And it's something special about Arctic tern compared with other birds, because it is driven at that moment by an instinctive sense of something we humans find admirable. The humans find admirable as well. Larger purpose. In other words, it is determined to reach its destination. It is determined to reach its destination. The bird senses that it can eat. Okay, that's also very important. The bird senses that it can eat, rest and mate later. Right now, it is totally focused on the journey. Right now, it is totally focused on a journey. And from the sentences I highlighted here, we can conclude our answer for question 22. Arctic terns illustrate migrating animals' ability to be governed by the availability of water. No, it has nothing to do with water. Ignore directions. Okay, this is our correct answer for question 22. Be repeated daily. It has nothing to do with repetition. And even travel on open land where they can look out for predators. And again, this isn't our answer. And as you see, we answered all of these four questions. This was the last form of matching questions in which we have to match the sentences with the correct ending. The first thing you're gonna do is to just look at the title and then read the instructions carefully and choose your signals and keywords. Only choosing for two questions is enough because it's less confusing and it helps us to concentrate fully on two questions. Okay, and then we look at the box and choose the most appropriate option for the questions. Okay. Now this is the and as you see, this passage was from reading passage 2, and it was a little bit more challenging than reading passage 1. Okay, this is the end of our 8th session. I hope it would be useful for you. If you like this video, please like it, and if you have any questions, you can ask your questions in the comment sections and I will answer your questions. See you in the next session. Goodbye.